lost on the dashboard, too long apart.
Hey everybody, it's a beautiful October afternoon out here at B&K Auto Parts once again. The video title says an introduction, so that's what this video kind of is. I'd like to introduce you to the channel, to myself a little bit, and also give you a couple updates on a couple cars out here. And so here's kind of a bird's eye view of the yard. This is the older section that I'm standing in, kind of goes all the way around behind me. It's a pretty big yard. I'm standing on the bumper of a old Jeep. Up there towards the front there's kind of a Chrysler section. But yeah, thought I'd give you kind of a view of the yard. Off that section, you got all the Chevy trucks, and you got the foreign, the Ford way out there, but you can't see any of that. But anyway, so here's a nice view, and here we go. So hi folks, my name is Chris. So why did I start this channel? Well, I started doing videos for work, so I started learning how to play with video software and stuff. So kind of going through a relationship thing, so I got some time to myself, and so this is one idea I've had for a while. So yeah, I thought I'd try it out. My dad worked for GM, so I've always been a car kid. I know not every kid that their dad or parent worked for an automotive company would be as interested in cars as I was, but I definitely was. I always played with cars as a kid. I had, if anybody had Constructs by Fisher Price, played with those a lot, and I was always making cars out of them. I mean, I think that's all I made, cars and whatever. But my neighbor had a DeLorean as a kid, and so I've always been a DeLorean guy, Back to the Future guy. Love those movies. So I just I just saw a DeLorean at a salvage yard recently. Took pictures of, didn't do a video or anything on it, but yeah. So I've always been a car guy. Yeah, I would go to junkyards back in the day for nothing, just to check it out. Now I'm not a mechanic. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably noticed not a mechanic. But I've just always been interested in them. My dream job has always been, I've said, maybe an automotive journalist or being on a design team at an automaker. So always been a big interest of mine. So a friend of mine has always been, actually a friend of mine made the music to the video. He's always been fascinated. Back in the day in high school, we'd be going down the road and I could tell him every car what it was just at night, just based on the shape of the headlights. It's just something I was interested in. So, but yeah, that's kind of my background. I work for an automotive company. I'm in the automotive core business, reman parts. So, I'm kind of, my job is kind of in the field as well. So, but, yeah, so the channel is just something, I find cars that I find interesting and, tell you what I know. I'm going to start to do a little more research, do a little research beforehand, take some pictures and come back and record later. Because I don't know a lot, like I said, on a lot of cars, but, I appreciate you coming along for the journey. Okay, so the first update is on this Buick Electra wagon. Now, according to the windshield, they've got it circled as, I believe, an 89. I'll have to go back and verify. I believe that's what I have it in the video, 89, yeah. But somebody had said in the comments on that video that they didn't think it was an Electra, that they didn't use that nameplate past a certain year. I forget what year, maybe they said 84. But I don't know. I'm just going based on the way it's labeled. I checked, the glove box doesn't have an owner's manual in it, so can't look there. And I believe the driver's door is locked as far as looking at the manufacturer date. And yeah, I got to figure out the VIN plate thing. And somebody also mentioned they thought it was maybe a dual action tailgate, and I believe it would be, right? I think if you have to unroll the window down first, correct, right, and then lift the handle, and then it comes down like a tailgate flat versus swinging out like this. So I believe that commenter was correct, that that was a dual action tailgate. I don't know if they all were, but that one does appear to be. Yeah, and that was correct. From my recollection, I didn't think that door opened. But yeah, Electra. So anyway, I just want to double check because that's what I thought the car said. And you know, I make mistakes sometimes, but that's what it's labeled as, an estate, an Electra estate wagon. So there's that one. All right, here she is, the infamous LTD. Yeah, I don't have a good excuse why I call this an LTD. I can tell you this, I'm old enough to know I didn't know or recall that Ford had an Elite. Torino, yeah, my brother-in-law actually had one, painted up like the Starsky and Hutch version. Yeah, I don't know. I walked up to this and it was in beautiful shape, you know, for being in the junkyard especially. And it was sitting right next to this truck, and I thought, well, you know, the yard gave me their good graces to, you know, let people know where I was at, and I thought, well, perfect. And I saw it in the glove box. It said Elite, and I don't know. I thought it was a trim package, I guess. But yeah, you know, I can't use the you know, hey, calling a Yukon a Suburban, because they are basically the same vehicle, or an Astrovan a Safari. No, an LTD is not this. So, you know, I got some friends from an old Patreon group that I was in, and I quickly earned the nickname Toin Koss. I think I actually said that. I meant to say coin toss, and because I mess up my words. And I mean, that's not what happened here, but I sure whiffed this one. But yeah, right there, Elite, says LTD nowhere. Nowhere. But anyway, but I mean, this video, for some crazy reason, had a bunch of views, and the next one sure didn't. I don't know. I can't explain any of it as far as that goes, but yeah, you know, so it was bittersweet, you know, crazy views for a young, you know, channel, and then a big whiff. But you know, a lot of the information was still accurate. Some information about the car, some theories, or, you know, somebody mentioned the Landau roof theory. They didn't seem to think that held water because they existed before the convertible tops went away. You know, I don't know. It's a theory somebody heard. You know, I do not claim to be a Doug DeMuro, Steve Mignani, any of those types of guys at all. You know, I used to go to junkyards in my younger days, as soon as I was old enough to, just for the hell of it, you know, look at, you know, how the car was wrecked, or wonder what was happened to it, or, you know, because you know somebody bought that car brand new and it was exciting and they worked their butts off for years. And anyway, but yeah, that's why I like cars, but not because I'm an expert. But yeah, but anyway, yeah, big whiff there. So yeah, but anyway, that's the update on this one. Not that it's much of an update. It's covered well in the comments and even in the title of the video and everything, but had to address that. So there you go. But yeah, pretty funny. So as a bonus, I'm going to throw this car in here, and the reason I'm not going to do a full video on it is because it's locked up. The first time I came out here, and it's in great shape. The first time I came out here, it was open. I looked under the hood. It's a Mark VII Lincoln. Forget the year. I want to say 86 maybe. I don't think they have it on the windshield, but I did know the owner's manual was in it and everything. But yeah, beautiful shape. Beautiful leather. I think blue interior. But I mean, about as nice as it gets. But here's the kicker. I have a buddy that actually has one of these, but he doesn't have one quite like this. something very unique, and he's actually told me, I think it was in the hundreds. Very few were made this way. Right here, turbo diesel. And if you pop this hood, which I wish I could for you, but I can't. This is a BMW engine. BMW diesel. You know, I guess stranger things have happened. I mean, Toyota has a BMW with a Toyota badge on it, Supra. So, you know, I guess whatever. But I don't think I knew that. Or at least if I did, I'd long forgotten it. So, but yeah, pretty rare. I talked to the yard owner about it. It's been a couple months ago, but said they it will not run, being a diesel, I guess, without, having obviously solid fuel pressure, and there's a leak somewhere. Last they knew, but they couldn't get it to run because of that, at least. But very cool car there. But that's kind of a bonus for this potluck of a video. So here's the last car I wanted to do a little update on. And the only reason I wanted to do an update on this one is due to the success of the quote-unquote LTD video, Elite, more accurately, video. I thought I'd put this one up, not because it's a particularly exciting vehicle, but it's got a personal connection to me in a way. There's a very good chance that my dad might have had a part in building this. At one point he was putting in windshields, and another point, when they would come down the line, they would take the doors off after it was painted, and then the doors would go back on later after, that's just part of the assembly process, and he would do that. At one point he was janitorial, but anyway, he has passed about 5 years ago. But I talk about that a little bit in the video, and I even have a picture of him alongside with some of his co-workers next to one of the first saleable vehicle that they built at that plant there in Roanoke, Fort Wayne, Indiana. So yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure if this one was even built. I talk about that in the video too. If it was built in Fort Wayne or not. Very good chance though. But if not, one just like it. But anyhow, so if you're watching this and you don't mind going back and watching that, that's the significance why I put this one up after the popularity of the last one, of the Ford Elite video. But yeah, but I wanted to kind of go back over that. And yeah, since I filmed that, they got a newer one that they put out here right in front of it. That might have been could have been built in the Fort Wayne plant too, for all we know. But this one got hurt a little worse. It didn't die from old age. Somebody needed the engine, so that's already gone, I'm assuming. And then over here, one of the other videos that's done pretty well is the Chevy conversion van. And there's a couple next to them that we could do down the road. But yeah, that's all the updates. Yeah, it's big Chevy truck land. And out yonder is foreign. And out that way is Ford out back. So, but yeah. Hope this video was somewhat entertaining. And I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Now those memories, like those old bright lights, still here.